Just like the caption says, this Julianna Peña interview is crazy. Wild, y'all, wild. A lot to unpack here, but I do want to say you're welcome. Everybody is welcome, including Dana White, because I told Julianna, please tone down the delusional talk and let's talk a little bit more about things like The Ultimate Fighter, and let's build this fight with something more than Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison. I said it in the last video. I'll throw it up really quick here so we all know. Continue to whittle away from this story, Peña. All right, I know you're gonna hear this, so let's whittle away the negativity. We know what you want, but please sell this fight. Please sell this fight without delusions of grandeur, without going over the top, the exaggeration of your personality. I know you say it's who you are, but I'm begging you, tell more of the Ultimate Fighter story, because I promise you, I'm gonna be talking about the past 12 years between you two. Now, it's no secret Julianna watches things about herself, and we'll get into that later because she actually admits it and talks about it. In fact, Julianna, as I know you're gonna be watching this, I don't appreciate the troll accounts. You don't need to have multiple YouTube accounts to come mess with me. You wanna talk? We can talk. But I think you might think that I'm not worth your time. But if you're using multiple accounts to come troll me, obviously I'm worth your time. At some point, I do believe this woman, and my girl pointed this out to me, she's gonna go somewhere and say you're obsessed. Oh, TKO Talk is obsessed with her. Julianna is far more important to the UFC and women's MMA than what she thinks she is. Her perspective of what things are, I don't fully agree with. And yes, I've been passionate in the past, and I have been talking sometimes crazy about Julianna, but the reason is because Julianna was talking crazy. We get a little of that in this interview here, but I gotta say, this is probably the best interview Julianna has given in years. And I do mean like 2019 or something like that. Very, very long time she has been this balanced in base. However, I'm not quite ready to say that the old Julianna is back. In fact, after this interview, I'm quite certain the Julianna that I want to show up against Raquel Pennington is never coming back. So let's get it kicking.
Is it like, are you getting your teeth done? Are you gonna have like those big white teeth?
I'm thinking about it. It was more of like a consultation.
Very beginning of the interview, Julianna is talking delusional, but I mean this in a complimentary way. What is she talking about getting the big white chiclets, the Steve Harvey chiclets? Since day one, Julianna is in the running amongst maybe like 3 or 4 that have the best teeth in the UFC. There's no way she's talking about going to a dentist and having them drill all the teeth out of her head so she can get fake ones in. Does she got a lot of cavities in the molars or something? That just seems weird. No matter what you think about Julianna, you can always say she has a pretty good smile. So what? Cap. All cap. All cap. In fact, I'll return to this.
Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. There's no way I can come to New York and not hit the MMA hour.
I think I found out that you were coming to New York and I hit you up.
Ariel is one of the most interesting personalities, I swear, dude. Sometimes you think he's a total weenie, and then sometimes he's so savage, and then sometimes so base, and then sometimes so far away from reality. What I don't understand right here is that he does this thing with Julianna where we get to see all the pro wrestling and kayfabe and over the top things. She sells herself gracing the MMA hour, and he has to like, nope, I called you. First off, who cares? And secondly, I thought you were trying to let her have her little moments in your interviews.
Anyway, you've called yourself the most hated person in the division.
Yeah, well,
why do you feel that way?
I feel like all these girls, they all want to fight me. You know what I mean? And they are always talking so much smack about me. It's been happening since The Ultimate Fighter. It's like for some reason, I rub people the wrong way, particularly girls in the 135 and 45 pound division. And they all want a piece of the Peña power, so.
I'm not sure if all the fighters hate her the most. I kind of feel like Eileen Perez is getting up there, but if she is the most hated, it's not because she's always telling the truth. It's this because of how she got to where she was with Amanda Nunes and what she said and has been saying after she lost. By the way, she hasn't fought anybody in the top 15, the top 20. The top 25. I think this is why people are mad at Peña, as far as the roster goes. However, she did beat Amanda Nunes fair and square. For my own personal taste, by the way, I do wish that she had found a different branding outside of Peña Power. I don't think it sticks the way that another branding, identity, gimmick, or whatever you want to call it could have been, you know, like where all my vixens at or something like that, you know. Real hot girl shit, you know. Bring all the hot girls to the UFC, something. I'm just saying, like, Peña Power, I mean, is it working for y'all? You know, it's there, at least it's something, so I'm not like bashing it, but I think something else could have stuck the landing a little bit harder there.
I don't want anyone to hate me, you know, but it's much easier to play the heel role. And I'm not playing any sort of heel role. I'm just always telling my truth and what has happened to me in my career. And some people don't like it. So I've found in my life that when you kind of tell the truth and when you're like real with people, they get offended.
So here's Julianna being completely based. I have to deal with this on this channel constantly and in real life and other channels I run and my music business. I have to deal with people not liking the truth a lot. So I'm not taking anything away from her in that opinion. However, she hasn't just been telling her truth and nothing else. And she's trying to say to us that this has been her the whole time, but she just said she used to care about what people thought about her. So which is it, you know?
Is this your burner account?
No, but I have a few of those.
You do?
Of course.
Why do you have a few? Why not just one?
Well, you get blocked from some, so you got to make another one.
Come on.
All right, I feel two ways about this. First off, not only do I know Julianna watches my shit because of her using my lines and takes to sell what she's saying in the past several times, which I'm fine with. It's not a big deal. You're welcome. I want some based in here, not just delusion. I think it's fucking hilarious how she says she has multiple with that sneaky fucking villain laugh. That Waluigi, fucking silly motherfuckers talk shit about me. So if Julianna is being a little trolly to the content creators discussing her, actually it's not like the worst thing in the world. These two are very fucking important, and you know, all bullshit aside, they need some serious shine for this fight. It should have been 300 or the Sphere, some kind of big setting, because they need that kind of send-off. I'm not even 100% convinced either one of them continue after the fight. What if it's a bloodbath? Dude, they're not like 22 years old, you know? Like I've said in countless videos, these ladies have been through it.
My name really quick. And it, like, underneath it says, Jan, she is a shit fighter with decent grappling for the division and above average toughness. That's all. And I'm like, above average toughness, that sounds pretty great to me.
That little quote certainly wasn't me, but I do think it shows quite, and also she goes into saying, you know, she Googled her name before, you know, looking up herself to go on some keynote speech over in Washington with 305 supervisors or something like that, which is fair enough and everything. But what I'm pointing out here is that, yo, be careful out there. She will get messy. I will go head on with Julianna, not a problem at all, because I would love to get out the not giving a fuck. I don't know what to call it anymore, because she's dialed back the delusion, but it's still here, as we will see.
Didn't you get hit by a car?
Yeah, I was walking on a sidewalk. I got ran the F over. Yes. That's why this gigantic scar is on my nose.
So weird. You know, I have brought up Julianna's getting hit by a drunk driver many times. This happened right before she went on The Ultimate Fighter. And I have videos with citations and links if you want to go ahead and get more information about it. What she's saying here is true. What I'm tripping out on is Ariel didn't know that. I feel like he had to have known that when they were talking after she won The Ultimate Fighter with Anna Mechanic and Cruz or whoever the fuck it was, I can't remember. But yeah, dude, she got hit by a fucking car before her fucking UFC career even started. You know, this is who we're talking about, and this is why I have been so focused on Peña and Rocky. They deserve better, and if it's true that Ariel didn't even know that, it only proves my point further. And if he did know that, then he's just drawing the point to emphasize her toughness. But we already know that. I don't see why he would have bothered doing it.
And so I saw you were doing a bunch of interviews, and what was so funny about it was like Raquel was literally right next to you.
Yeah.
Was that awkward?
No, the girl slept above me in the bunk bed, like,
I know, but a lot has changed since then.
Yeah, I guess, but I know.
Did you say anything to each other?
No.
You were like 2 feet away from each other.
Look, old Julianna probably would have grabbed her by the back of the bun, bun, and just smashed her right into the cameras, you know?
Dude, the love for Peña that Helwani holds is quite remarkable. You gotta respect it on some level. This is what I'm talking about. You are all welcome. And Julianna, you are too, because this is coming across so much better. You are talking about the fight with Rocky now. You're not calling her a block of wood. You're not dismissing her. You are talking about why there is any heat there between you two. And that is what we need to build this fight. You're all welcome. This is heating up. And I know someone's going to get in the comments, you think you're so important, blah, 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 blah. But I'm a big reason why it's heating up.
What do you say to people who say it's been 2 years, you don't deserve to fight for the belt?
I tell them so many things, okay? So, like, okay,
I'm going to go ahead and help Peña on this because she doesn't go on to give the best of reasoning, but I'll make it very simple. Peña does deserve to fight for the title. She does deserve to fight for the fucking title. That goes without question. She's the #1 contender, okay? Now, how she became and remained the #1 contender, totally different topic. But even if you take that away, she beat Nunes at her highest point, fair and square. Now, asthma and switching count, all the drama, yes, I've been through all of that in great detail. I go by the same logic, same principles for every fighter. Whether I'm upset with them for their actions or what they say, or whether I don't like them at all as a fan. You go into that octagon and you win fair and square, you win. Beating Amanda Nunes definitely qualifies her to fight for the title, even though she's been out now longer than Amanda Nunes.
And so I actually was looking through your Cameo.
oh yeah.
Good business?
Nah.
Okay, all right. You're not getting a lot?
It's not that I'm not getting a lot. It's that, like, some people don't want to, like, pay me what I believe that I'm worth.
What is your...
Now, I don't really care about Cameo at all, but she does go on to say that somebody was, like, offering her $10 to sing, like a birthday or some shit. That is embarrassing that anyone would offer her such a low amount of money for something like that. But with that said, man, her value, I would go on to believe confidently that is a little bit inflated in her head, because this is what Julianna has become, for better or for worse. She does like going into the heel role, and it's a good thing because she can't be an uplifting role model in the general sense. I mean, in this interview, she does talk about people talking to her about inspiring their daughters and whatnot, which is great stuff. But if she's gonna be talking about what her value is and be dismissive of the rest of the roster, you can't play both sides of it, you know?
Page and see it. If you make it private, it's just...
I need to start making it private. That's embarrassing a little bit. I would have put more effort into
I won't say what you said, but you told the person when your next fight was in the video.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know when it was.
We don't need to talk. I don't want. The last thing I want to do is get you in trouble because the UFC gets.
He'll give me my pink slip, dude.
Yeah.
You better not. Let's not talk about it. I'm scared of Hunter.
Everybody should be scared of Hunter. Even the fans. Even the motherfucking fans. Julianna looks great here. I think it goes without question. She looks hydrated, rested, and confident, and even relaxed. I didn't touch on this earlier. I like that she's wearing black and not on the innocent all-white tour that she was doing when she was interviewed on ESPN, and I think it was like Ellen or... No, that was way too far back. It was something else. No more white. She's leaning into the heel, and she's doing it for real. Might as well, because Rocky's not gonna do that, and there is a huge dynamic between them that I'll get to later here. But yeah, everybody needs to be afraid of Hunter, not Dana.
We didn't talk since prior to 300. And I know you've been asked about the Kayla win over Holly.
Yeah.
It sounds like you weren't too impressed.
I mean, look, I know that Holly is a legend and that she has done incredible things in the sport. I also know that she is in a different trajectory in her career. You know, she's going a different way. And so I feel like, you know, they were looking to tout up Kayla as, you know, the next biggest thing since sliced bread, and they got that in that fight.
This is the Julianna I wish we got all the time. Her reply about Kayla and Holly was so balanced and so professional. Even heel Julianna can get a little bit of professionalism and courtesy there. Because when Ariel called her to like try to set her up with Carlos Solberg, she was like not impressed with Kayla's performance, called Holly like 44, 45 years old, which isn't true. Very dismissive of both of them. This is like the most balanced take about the situation she has ever given. And this is Julianna from 2013, 14.
How do you think she looked on the scale?
Great, strong, yeah. Stay off the needle, bro.
Ariel likes Kayla quite a bit, from what I understand. But the way that he just it's like that Joe Rogan, Terrence Howard thing, and then Eric Weinstein got on there and he like dunked on both of them, like telling Rogan, dude, I can't believe you let this motherfucker come on here, say all this shit, knowing your platform, and just rolling with it when you know that Joe Rogan knows better. And he's trying to be nice or whatever. That's a complete different conversation. But it's the same kind of thing here. Ariel just lays back and let this happen, and it's not right. Accusing someone of cheating with performance-enhancing drugs is a serious thing. You would think Julianna learned when she accused Myra of cheating with Ritalin, when Ritalin wasn't even the drug she fucking popped for.
I just already have the mindset that people are cheating. You know what I mean? That everyone's cheating.
Even on the women's side, because I feel like people think it's less
especially
prevalent.
from ATT, 100% from ATT.
And this is where Julianna gets a little bit too delusionally for me. That's a new one. We got Drunk Desanya and Delusiana. Dude, this is a very serious accusation to throw out there. I cannot believe she just casually put this out. She's accusing American Top Team of cheating, especially the women. Dude, you're talking Dustin Poirier, Amanda Nunes, Kamaru Usman, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Dude, I'm sitting here saying this and I'm like, dude, all these people are super jacked. Kamaru's, you know, I don't think he's at ATT anymore, but she's talking about a large swath of very well-liked fighters and very well and elite top-end fighters. I can't tell if this is like some bitterness, which would be weird, right? Because wasn't that the story and angle for Amanda Nunes leaving ATT, doing her own gym because Kayla was implemented and all the focus got on Kayla? Well, after she won Ultimate Fighter, they were trying to pick her up. They tried to like recruit her as well. Is the gym a little bit crazy? A little bit unscrupulous? I do wonder. But to say that the gym cheats, gives their fighters. Dude, she goes in here and says, oh, they told me, someone grabbed me and shook me and said they're shooting each other up. Go get shot up in the bathroom. I'm not exaggerating. Go check out the interview. I hope she's got some kind of truth, because she didn't have any fucking truth about the Ritalin for Myra Bueno Silva. But that accusation, man, I mean, that would be a cause for investigation and possibly get a gym shut down. You know what I mean? That's like a very serious accusation she's throwing out here, like it's just trash talk, and it's not. That's a little bit beyond.
No, okay. Absolutely not. I would never do that.
Have you ever taken PEDs?
Never.
Never?
Never.
Never been compelled?
No.
Really?
No.
Even when you were nursing injuries and stuff?
No. I will say that there's some stuff like a branched chain amino acid. Long branch chain amino acid. It's for healing. It's called BPC 157. And I would never take it knowing that it's illegal.
Julianna has already made a critical error when talking about things like this. For example, Ritalin. However, she is right here. BPC 157 is something that is banned but doesn't make sense as to why, because there is no evidence that shows that there's any side effects that would enhance performance. You just heal quickly. But there definitely does need to be more studies, as most of the evidence is just based off what has happened with mice, rodents. However, I feel like Julianna has taken BPC 157 in the past with this little piece of dialogue she has with Ariel here. That may be a reason why she has been gone so long. Maybe she took it and didn't realize it was banned and found out, and before she got popped for a test and looked bad and everything, she admitted it. So she went to this USADA or whatever it was about PED's convention in Las Vegas to get information about it, and good for her. That's what you should be doing as a fighter. That's actually champion level shit right there. Know what's going into your body. It might have been too late. She's like, oh, well, I took this. Dana Hunter, don't test me. And they wouldn't, because it's all in-house now. It's not USADA. It's very WWE, the drug testing. Even if she did get popped for it, they could keep it under wraps and give her an excuse anyway. Not an excuse, a waiver anyway, right? Because she got injured, and they are skimming over this in the interview, but she re-injured. And that is why she missed the fight with Rocky. Maybe it was more severe than what we thought, dude, and she had to take this peptide and heal up. I ain't mad at her for that, because look at what Connor did for his fucking shit, and we're trying everything we can do to get him in the fucking octagon, right?
The talk was January.
Yeah.
You weren't quite 100%.
No, the talk wasn't January. They had already filled. When I broke my ribs, they had filled me within less than an hour. Like half an hour later, they had already put Aldana in there.
But you were the original, right?
I was the original to fight for Amanda with the third time.
Right.
And then I believe I was supposed to fight. Wasn't I supposed to fight Raquel then? And I didn't. No.
Whoa. Somebody help me hear what's being slipped up here, or almost slipped up. How does she not remember that she was supposed to fight Raquel this January? That was 7 months ago, dude. She's been obsessed with this belt the whole time. How could she be sitting here not remembering? Now, I talked to Raquel. She said it was supposed to be her and Julianna January. And she heard about the Julianna being re-injured. UFC called her and told her we gotta get the division moving. It's you and Myra, which threw her for a loop. Then she kind of gave it away. She just said it was supposed to be her. I think we all know that. Weren't you live with Ariel in Manhattan and saying, oh, that's right. She got re-injured, but it was like only I picked it up because no one watched that interview or something. It was the same injury. It was a repeat injury. And I think this whole sequence right here is because she started talking about the BPC 157, and they're trying to get around that, which, you know, it's fair. It's a banned substance. I don't agree with it because there's no enhancement except for healing. It's not like it puts adamantium into your skeleton or something. But she's trying to be really careful here, and I do wonder if there's anything still lingering or pending about her injury or about BPC 157. That drug specifically, there's no reason that she's going to go to Las Vegas to find out about that drug specifically for no reason, all right? So everybody use their heads there. I'm not accusing her of anything. That's not cheating. In my opinion, and BPC 157 isn't cheating. So
Amanda
I think it was just the Amanda fight.
And
I wasn't ready to go
for January.
It's for January.
But they would have given it to you, right?
Yeah. Yes.
The vacant title fight.
They would have. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was supposed to be me, but I wasn't ready to go then.
But now you're good. If you win, when you fight Raquel, you'll call it Amanda, not Kayla.
Of course.
I believe that's the only fight Julianna would even bother entertaining if she were to beat Raquel. I don't believe for 1 second that she would fight Kayla. And if Amanda did not come back, she'd get to say, that Amanda ducked her and was scared and all that and blah, 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 and she'll never fight again. Because Julianna might be the first person that gets to be the champion without fighting anyone in the top 15 except the champion. Just crazy stuff here. But again, this isn't Julianna's fault. It's not Rocky's fault. Just want to point that out here.
Why, of course?
Okay, that's like if I win the belt, I should also call out Ronda. You know what I mean? Like Ronda has been escaping these fights with me for years. You know, she told me that I was going to give her a tougher fight than Miesha Tate could ever dream about. You know, and so those are fights that I want. I want big fights. I want big money fights. With
Do you think the Amanda fight is bigger than the Kayla fight?
Absolutely, we're 1-1.
Yeah,
it's unsettled, unfinished business.
I love this right here. I told you guys for the past year and a half, dude. Julianna has been wanting to get in Ronda's ass for so long. And I think there's a lot to unpack here. Besides that, I love that I'm right. Because I've been following this woman her whole career, day one. A lot to unpack that I'm about to unpack here. Julianna's not over Ronda. She's over it in the sense like it's never gonna happen and she's accepted it. But she knows that was one that got away. Back in August when Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey had their SummerSlam match, I was declaring to you all they were going to try to get Ronda to come back and hand the torch to Peña or beat Peña at UFC 300.
I made that possible. I'm what counts out here, not your fucking country clubs or your fucking TV shows. And what the fuck are you doing on TV anyhow?
Ronda's book came out. I'm about halfway through it. Ronda's interviews and podcasts have came out. Miesha's response to Ronda has came back. And Julianna speaks on it, which we'll get to here in a second. Put that with Julianna being re-injured, and after International Fight Week, Raquel Pennington being asked of 2023. Raquel Pennington being asked why wasn't the fight this week? She said it should have been this week. I don't know when it's gonna happen. The re-injury happened over the summer for Julianna. I'm going off just looking at what I see, dude. It's not very hard to figure out. They were not going to put Rocky and Julianna at UFC 300 in August of 2023. However, if you think the idea at least didn't come up, hey, Ronda's leaving WWE, we're now one, let's keep her in-house, she can make a splashback appearance, fight Peña, bigger than ever for 300. Reignites the women's bantamweight division. Keep playing with me. Tell me I'm wrong. You think back in November, at the top of November, the UFC had in mind we're gonna do Myra and Rocky? No, not at all. Because remember, Myra was also dealing with a suspension, which I also covered. Dude, I've been covering this whole saga, and now it's all finally coming together, and all you can say is, damn, this dude was completely fucking right about the entire situation. The other thing is, Julianna just gave up the reason why she didn't want to fight Holly or Ketlin Vieira or Eileen Perez or Norma Dumont or anybody else because she doesn't think they're big money fights. Now that is very Colby Covington-esque, right? The only thing is that Peña is not the draw that she thinks she is relative to the rest of the 15 in the 14 in the division. It takes a dance partner. Peña and Tate would do a pretty decent draw. Peña and Pennington should do very good. We just gotta build it right. And Peña's about 40-50% there. We just gotta completely get rid of all this crazy accusations and delusions of Amanda. Who cares about Amanda right now, right? Let's focus on Rock.
It just feels like she has so much animosity towards the sport. And now the big thing is, like she said, you know, I was out there promoting and doing this, so I couldn't evolve like everyone else. And it's just like, man, you just lost. Everyone loses. There doesn't have to be a whole story behind it.
Right.
And I feel like we're talking about this 9 years later, the Holly fight.
Right.
I was out there promoting. I was the face of women's MMA. I was asked to do this. Like, man, Holly's really good. She's a Hall of Fame boxer who then became a kickboxer who then became an MMA fighter. Right. It just feels like a lot of...
This is where all of us, Ariel, myself, Julianna, Rocky, Kayla, Miesha, informed fans that lived through it, you know? I think this is where we can all agree. Ronda is not a victim. Okay, Ronda's not a victim at all. The sob story Ronda's doing is quite disappointing, and I'm not gonna go into it crazy right here because this is about Peña, and also I gotta finish Ronda's book. But I remember being so insanely excited for her to make her return to Amanda Nunes, and how she just did not at all at all care about the media or the fans. She talked bad about both. And Ariel kind of digging into her a little bit, but I think he's a little bit based and fair because Ronda's had it out for Ariel since way back in the day. Way back. He would just, how are you doing today? And Ronda would be like, well, fucking Ariel, I have to work and sit here and talk to you. How do you think I feel? Things like that. So it's very important that we make it very well known throughout the MMA community and the pro wrestling community, because a lot of them have no idea how Ronda was in MMA at the tail end of her career. And there are fans and people such as myself that haven't forgotten it or forgiven it.
It's never for her to say, taking accountability and saying it's an excuse, but I didn't get to evolve. You know what I mean? It's just more of like the blaming it on everybody else without taking any accountability. And then especially if you lose, like you said, everybody loses. You get back up on the horse, you ride again, You fight another day. You know what I mean?
This is where Julianna loses me again, bro. Take your own advice, maybe? For her to say that about Ronda, while she is literally doing the same thing Ronda did, except she's willing to talk to Ariel. I don't think she talks to anybody else, does she? Maybe on Media Week she's gonna have to talk to the Bones and what's the dude? Oscar Willis and my boy Shaq or what have you. But dude, she don't talk to MMA media, and she don't care about the fans. I mean, she cares about the fans that glaze her a bit, that whatever she has done has saved their lives or inspired her or whatever. That's all great, but dude, she can't handle the criticism, and the proof is in Googling herself and making burner accounts to come mess with people like me.
You're not going to win every single fight. And I think that it was very poor taste for her to lose like that and then just be gone from the sport and never return.
I clipped this because it's very important, because let's see what happens with Julianna. If she loses against Rocky, what's gonna happen? When she lost to Amanda, what happened? She hasn't returned since losing to Amanda and has talked about everything else being the issue except herself. She told me and the whole world, go rewatch the fight. I did here live on YouTube and broke it down. Go back and look at the videos, bro. She lost the fight,
So it just kind of shows her mentality.
Came back a year later, but she didn't do a single interview. She didn't show up to the media day.
Yeah.
She didn't even do the media day.
Yeah.
When she showed up to the morning weigh-in, she came in, threw the thing, got up there and ran away. Like she couldn't talk. And then she blames us. She blames the MMA media for killing her. It's like, I think the MMA media was actually quite nice to her, to be honest.
My love-hate relationship with Ariel Helwani continues because I love this from him. He's absolutely right, dude. And he has more justification than pretty much anyone on the planet to talk this way about Ronda. And I'm glad he is, because it's an uncomfortable truth for a lot of people, but it is the truth. I remember this so well, dude. I was in San Francisco when her and Amanda Nunes fought. I know, this was before current San Francisco, all right? But me and my girl were over there celebrating New Year's and whatnot, and I remember watching it on my phone, dude, and just being so disappointed because she did all that non-talking and dissing the media and dissing the fans, and I was like, all right, well, hopefully she doesn't mess this up and lose in a dramatic way. And dude, it was the loss combined with how she treated media and fans in between Holly and Amanda was so bad, dude. And people like me haven't forgot it, and I'm glad, once again, that Ariel's out here pointing it out. He's not being a hater. He's not being a hater. This is all facts. This is all true.
I don't know. Refresh my memory on what Kayla was saying about Amanda in training.
She's talked about them training a little bit, but she hasn't revealed, to the best of my knowledge, all that much.
Did she say that she was like mollywopping her?
She doesn't seem like that type.
Yeah. I don't know. I got Amanda.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Definitely.
Why?
I just think that she's more well-rounded.
Yeah.
She's been doing this for a long time.
If Amanda comes back and fights her before fighting you, will you be pissed off?
I think it'll be cheap, but I wouldn't be surprised. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
I mean, crazier things have happened. They just gave the belt to Ronda. She just walked in there. Here you go.
Yeah. I mean, but she was the Strikeforce champion.
I guess.
So it was kind of like the extension.
Okay.
Whatever you may think about Julianna, the fact remains she is not a stupid chick. I think she would do very good in WWE. She puts over Amanda, and Stone Cold puts over Amanda. I got Amanda. Because she wants that fight. She's not gonna give Kayla any kind of like accolades. Oh, I think she'll beat Amanda. No. If she says that Amanda would beat Kayla, to the casuals' ears, they're going to be like, well, we want to see Amanda and Julianna. I'm not hating on that at all. Sell the fights, do what you got to do.
You and Raquel, and you're walking. What's going on here?
Okay. So I was on The Ultimate Fighter, all right? You gotta stick with me here.
Yeah,
I talk
2013.
2013,
Yeah.
I'm on The Ultimate Fighter. I have Raquel sleeping above me. She's nasty to me. She tells me that I want to soak up all the camera time, that all I care about is hair and makeup. She tells me, she doesn't tell me anything. She's just talking about me. And
You hear this?
she's asking me what I feel about certain fights. How do I feel about Shayna? How do I feel about this? How do I feel about that? Then she goes downstairs and she tells the other team everything that I was feeling, which is like so unloyal because she's supposed to be Team Tate. And I'm like, that is so messed up that you would, throw me under the bus like that. And then she got mad at me for not hanging out with them, like outside of training. And I'm like, why would I hang out with you guys? You guys are talking bad about me. Like, why would I want to ever spend time with people that I know are talking bad about me? So I didn't hang out with her. Then she was so bored one day, she asked me to do her hair and makeup. And I was like, you've been talking crap about me doing hair and makeup this whole time. Like, now you want me to do your hair and makeup. And she was like, well, we're just that bored. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I put her in my high heels. You can see in that picture. She's in my high heels, my 6-inch heels. She's in my, Vegas little black dress. I did her hair, I did her makeup. She looked more beautiful than I've ever seen her look in my entire life. She should honestly be saying thank you because I haven't ever seen her look that beautiful since. With that being said, I'm thinking she's on my team the whole time. She's backstabbing me the whole season. If you go back to the show, anytime it cuts to Raquel, she's just talking about how the other coaches are paying more attention to me and the other coaches want me to win and the other coaches are giving me only the attention,
I do not believe the fire between Julianna and Ronda is at all done. I mean, did you guys catch that? That she dismissed the entire UFC bantamweight title in this reply. She says she's gonna dominate Amanda. She has before. The second win was just whatever. The UFC, the original inaugural, was not even a thing. They just gave it to Ronda, which is, I guess true, but she did have to fight Liz Carmouche for the defense, and then it was like official. It made sense to give it to Ronda, I suppose, but she is being rather dismissive about it. And then Ariel, after digging into Ronda, has to defend her a little bit, which is base, good for him, in being balanced for once, because he doesn't do that with Rocky, but he'll do it with Ronda, all good. Not hating, not the time and place. He says, well, she was Strikeforce champion. And Julianna's like, okay. Dude, Julianna don't give a fuck about Ronda at all. Like, in the sense that she ain't that great. And she did this when she was talking to Mike Bone in that purple dress that one time shortly after losing to Amanda. And she was saying, the greatest of all time. And she had her fingers up for the quotes. She don't see any of these women on her level. And that is what's causing the problem as far as her legacy and what she represents for women's MMA. Not for Julianna Peña, but for women's MMA. And I'll touch back on that in a second.
So you feel like there's a theme here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the...
That's what you were trying to say with the photos.
Yes. It's just like, follow me into the octagon, girl, like you followed me on The Ultimate Fighter. Sorry you're mad you didn't win the show. That was 13 years ago. Haven't thought about it since. Sorry.
Crazy that this has been technically 11 years ago.
Yeah.
It's quite the saga.
Yeah, I think I saw something she said that she's been waiting 13 years to kick my ass or something like that. It's like,
have you ever been offered a fight against her or vice versa? Like,
no.
It's weird that you guys have been in the UFC for that long and you've never...
Me, as far as Raquel and Julianna go, this segment is the most interesting of this interview. And this is where Julianna is being super based. I'm not sure if everything she's saying is true. I watched The Ultimate Fighter Season 18 about 9-10 months ago, and I'm about to rewatch the entire thing again, so I guess we'll see. I don't remember Raquel having any scrutiny towards her about being two-faced or anything like that. I do remember vividly that scrutiny going towards Julianna. And I remember she tried to throw, this is off the top of my head, if I'm wrong, I will correct myself after I watch the season again. She tried to throw Roxanne Modafferi She tried to throw Roxanne Modafferi under the bus. She was telling conflicting stories, and I can't remember the dude's name, but I will find out, that was accusing her of being two-faced. Right? I totally remember that. One thing that's important to understand about The Ultimate Fighter Season 18 is the climate, the social climate, especially in the United States, that it was in. Julianna was one of those first girly girls to be a part of the UFC or MMA. You know, they even make a segment of it on The Ultimate Fighter. She's painting her nails or what have you and tanning and laying by one of the dudes who thought it was going down, but it clearly was not. There was an uncomfortableness still lingering during this time for women's MMA. It wasn't as accepted as it is now, as far as, girly girls aren't supposed to fight. And I can't really take that away from Julianna while she's speaking on this, because in that context, you can kind of understand this tumultuous Ultimate Fighter house. It was wild. They had men and women. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, but it was wild. It was certainly wild. Also, I'm not really sure about Rocky being mad that she wouldn't hang out with her. Now, I'm not going to break this all down literally right now. I do understand there is an angle that has to be worked here, and I do appreciate that from Julianna. This is better than any of the other talk, so I can have this, no problem. Dressing Rocky up and saying she was more beautiful than she ever was, kind of like not my type of, kind of not the best trash talk, but it's there. And you know what? If we're gonna have this angle of the humble champion fighter against like the real hot girl shit girl, and she's gonna try to bring in all the hot girls to have this attention drawn on this fight, great, let's do it. Let's just not get nasty into people's families. Let's not talk about religion. Let's not talk about crazy shit. This isn't terrible. Also, singling out Rocky like it's not fair. Why is she getting attention and we're not? I'm not sure if I ride with that all the way. I can see where everyone was like, why is Julianna getting all the camera time? Not just Raquel Pennington, but it's because that climate that we were in at that point in time, painted up nails and long hair and makeup every day and all that, that wasn't like a thing back then. So why would the people be complaining she's getting all the camera time? Because the UFC production team had her on camera because she's a girly girl and had a bunch of makeup on, probably. Just my guess, allegedly, in my opinion, but I lived through it, so I think I know what I'm talking about. And to me, I think this is a good point to bring up what I believe is the fundamental dynamic between the two in this fight. Raquel Pennington was visiting Tracy Cortez and Rose Namajunas. Yes, if you watch Raquel during fight night and female fights are on, like on her socials, she's very much into women's MMA. She's very much into women's MMA. She supports them all. Yes, her and Rose live in Colorado, but I think she was visiting Tracy because she wants to go be a fan of women's MMA. She wants to be a supporter. She wants to see it grow and do good things. Julianna, on the other hand, wants to see herself only do good things. I believe Julianna is at the point where her legacy is not important to her. The money is. Fair enough, I'm not complaining about that. I don't think she's worried about the future of women's MMA. I think she's worried about her present. And I feel half and half about that, you know? And for me, that's why the fundamental fucking reason, guys, this fight is so great. They are the polar opposite of each other. You could not find two more opposite female fighters. And it's been going on for over a decade. This story, I mean. It's fucking incredible, man. Whatever you feel about either one of them, either way, this is mixed martial arts.
Yeah, I think it's because, you know, on the ladder, I've just been like fighting up and just like trying to get to the top. You know what I mean? So I haven't really paid attention to, you know, those below me.
And Julianna loses me again, dude. Unfortunately, her career has been injury-ridden, and she is now closer to the end than she is the beginning of her career. And on that level, I feel. But the talk is incorrect. She wasn't just fighting up the whole time. Rocky's on a 6-fight win streak. Her last fight in January, Julianna hasn't fought in 2 years. Last fight was Amanda. Amanda has fought more recent than Julianna Peña. So for her to say that she's been fighting up is just completely untrue. She's fought nobody in the top 15 of the division.
I don't know. They changed the rules for all sorts of weird reasons. I don't anticipate eyelash extensions being a thing. Can you imagine they're gonna come in there and be like, you know, making sure that, are these real? Are these yours? Yeah. You know, it's like.
This has nothing to do with them, with Peña, Pennington, or Ariel. But what the fuck, dude? How am I the only motherfucker on the internet that remembers Tracy getting an eyelash knocked off when she fought Jazz or someone else? I'm not gonna look it up right now, but it's happened more than once. Also, guys, UFC 289, funnily enough, the fucking card that Julianna Peña was supposed to be on to fight Amanda Nunes, Maria Oliveira opened up the fucking card on the early prelims, and Jason Herzog told her to fucking take off her eyelashes. Why is Tracy Cortez allowed to wear the fucking eyelashes?
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
We don't know the date yet.
Yes.
But it will be on pay-per-view.
It will.
Will it be the main event?
I don't know.
Gotta give Ariel a little bit of props trying to publicly confirm Ilya and Max in Utah. I wish it was a swerve and they were the co-main at fucking the Sphere, you know? I know that's not happening, but base for Ariel in trying. He tries really hard, too. The BMF? Get it, BMF? You're a mom? No, not a mom. BMF. Spain, Hawaii.
No.
You don't know who's the main event?
No, I'm...
Right there.
Who? Where?
Legend.
Who? Her?
Yes.
Stop it.
Main event.
Main.
Do you know who that is?
This is just such a slap in the face to me. I swear to
do you
God.
know?
All right, kind of mean to Virna. She is a beast. But Julianna's kind of base there, you know? Her and Rocky deserve to be a fucking main event, dude. It's unreal that they're not. They're the last of a dying breed. Dana loves these Ultimate Fighter fucking people. These are the two longest in the fucking entire company right now. This is it, dude. You gotta make it something, Dana. You didn't give them 300 injuries, whatever, I don't give a fuck. You didn't... January 28th, Peña went on Ariel's show. 29th, went on Ariel's show. If she was ready, y'all should have just booked her for 300, dude, and not waste Myra. Dude. As far as the rankings and bookings go, dude, it's all pro wrestling. It's all pro wrestling. It just sucks, dude. They're gonna get Utah. I mean, I'm not hating on Utah, but dude, this is an important fucking fight, and they should be getting a gigantic send-off.
It's against Amanda Lemos.
Oh, really?
One of the most anticipated main events in recent UFC history. Sold out the Apex.
I hope one day I have a platform as big as Ariel's so I can just do whatever the fuck I want without any consequence, and everyone can just talk about me and I can just bat them all down from my high platform. Dude, sometimes this guy is the biggest, like, what the fuck are you doing, Ariel? And then sometimes he's hilarious, like this. One of the most anticipated fights, and I don't know if Julianna caught on to it, like, you know, I don't know if she caught on that he was being sarcastic. And also, she does say, oh, I got this meme of Virna. I know which one she's talking about. And it had to have been from Dylan Dennis. I know it was from Dylan Dennis. Had to have been. Absolutely had to have been. Get Dylan Dennis's phone away from him and put him in the gym. He doesn't need to be sending anyone, especially Julianna, memes of Virna, Jandaroba fucking Boba.
Well, actually, tell me. There's this one guy that like wanted to follow me around. The guy that did the Tatiana Suarez documentary.
Oh, Cassius.
Cassius.
He wants to do a documentary on you.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
I know,
He's
but
very talented.
He is very talented. I think we passed on it though.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, did I make a mistake doing that? I'm also real weird. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
they're gonna see like
You
what
don't
kind of
want.
socks I wear on certain days, you know, and you know, I'm weird about that kind of stuff. I don't know if I want to let people
No, I
know.
get that. You're private to a degree.
Yeah, exactly.
Julianna's extremely private. It took Ariel 2 years to get any kind of real emotion out of her, and that happened in Manhattan. It's not just to an extent. But also, this is, like I was saying, dude, this is telling, and the fundamental difference between her and Rocky. Like, she's worried about little shit. And yes, I understand, like, I would probably be worried about it too, but she doesn't care about the legacy or the interest, like, oh, Julianna, this strive upwards to try and fight after all her injuries, after losing to Amanda, after seemingly being humiliated online and everyone disagreeing with her and trashing her. None of this matters, dude. She just wants to fight, get the belt and the paycheck and move on. And that's what's concerning. I don't think she will fight Kayla. She'll try to fight Amanda if she were to win, but I don't even know if that's like guaranteed, man. This interview left me thinking that Julianna cares less than ever about her future as an active UFC fighter. I'm not saying she has 1 foot out of the door on Rocky, but I am saying she's not seeing very far past that. And I know Rocky isn't either, but I think Rocky would stick around to take on Kayla, because even if she lost, she goes in knowing she's leaving the belt in good hands, and she cares about the women's division, women's MMA, specifically the bantamweights, right? And that's that should be your driving force when you make content about these two and their upcoming fight, when you're interviewing them, platforms that get to interview both of them that may come across this. You need to understand you're dealing with two very principally different, and you know, personality wise too, people here, and that makes it, this is like striker versus grappler, but on the mental and lifestyle, right? It's so intriguing how close they were alike at the beginning as fighters, not personally, and how far they have drifted apart, and now they're back here. The UFC has never offered them a fight against one another up until the idea of it being January, right? But it wasn't official before Julianna got injured. And you know why they waited last minute, dude? All that said, man, pretty decent interview from Julianna. I'm glad she is talking about The Ultimate Fighter. I'm glad she's talking about Rocky specifically. I do hope she dives in a little bit more. And for those that think Rocky ain't gonna say anything, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. This is the woman to draw out the Rocky that everyone is dying to see. Because if you have not watched her fight against Miesha Tate, you definitely should. This chick can throw down like you have never seen before. She's got one of the best jabs in all of the women. Julianna Peña has one of the best crosses in all of the women. I mean, Manon's is up there. Manon's is up there too. But Julianna's got a really good one, dude. And they are gonna fucking throw down. I'm telling you, like, don't listen to the casual haters or your friends while you guys are eating Taco Bell or cruising, smoking out, or you're playing some Xbox and you're like, oh, this is gonna be a shitty women's fight. I'm telling you, these two are gonna fucking collide hard, very hard. I just hope no injuries, no more mental family issues or tragedies. Keep them healthy. Let's get to October, because, man, I can't wait. Anyway, interview for Julianna. Ariel didn't do bad. B+ for Ariel. I can't really argue about a lot that he said here. Just a couple of things. He pisses me off, but love the guy. Julianna Peña, solid B interview. I'm glad she's dialing it back and getting refocused. I am worried about her layoff. I am worried about, is she gonna, make the weight after not having to train? Is she gonna do a test cut? Is she back in training? Are injuries still lingering? What is that beef? What is that BPC 157 story all about? But I'm here for it, and I will continue to be here for it. Long live the bantamweights.
But if anyone is willing and has a spot at Carbone, you're willing to go on a date with them tonight.
Yes.
You said this.
No. I
Oh.
already have. I need a table for two.
Ah, okay. Who's the?
It's just a friend. It's an old friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Male, female?
Ariel.
Well, no. I don't, is that too much? I don't know.
No, it's a male.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
happy for you. We only want the best for you here.
Yeah. Shout out to the Batman.
Sorry, Sims. Julianna has met her own Bruce Wayne. Now, let me tell you something out there, world. If you're a hyena and you meet a Bruce Wayne, you ain't flying to where they're at to fix your perfect smile, all right? Julianna's out there to see her Bruce Wayne, and I can hear the hearts just breaking now. It's fucking awesome. I'm very happy for Julianna, and, I hope she has a blast in whatever she does in her personal life. But again, guess what? That ain't my fucking business. I just got through saying I love Ariel. Now I hate him. Why you keep asking Julianna about her dating life? Why you keep trying to set her up with people? Namely other fighters. Will you leave her private life alone, dude? You tell her, oh, you're a pretty private fighter to an extent, which she's very much so private, not to an extent, and you're still trying to drag out who she's dating. Dude, I know. Look, Julianna's not an ugly girl. Everyone in the world knows that. That's not the problem. I know she's got a smile, Ariel. You are married, you got kids, you got your own personal life. Quit being so curious about hers. Does she ask you on camera about your wife and what dates you're doing and who do you think is hot? Ariel's mad he can't make a move because he's been in love with Julianna forever. I've showed the meme before. I'll show it right now.
She is forever the Ultimate Fighter, Julianna Peña. All smiles and why not? All smiles and why not?
He fell in love with her that night that she won the Ultimate Fighter. I mean, I'm doing a joke, but I'm not. He loves Julianna Peña, dude. And he just gotta know. It's weird, right? Because when you talk about like the fucking Ian Gary thing, right? And people like me, Ariel, are like, oh man, don't. I'm not saying I'm at the same station as Ariel. I'm just saying I'm drawing a point about Ariel. Ariel fucking, oh man, who cares about that nonsense, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to Julianna, this dude is simping so hard. He'll even tell the name. Is it a boy or girl? A Batman, fuck. And that's what his heart sank again. Because Julianna found a man richer than him and any other fighter that would find her as a suitable partner. Poor Ariel. Quit playing matchmaker and let's get to some matchmaking. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I just had to throw that fucking shit in. I can't believe him. B+ for the last part because it makes me mad and it was hilarious at the same time. I just can't fucking believe. Dude, Julianna is Ariel's Amaranth. You know what I'm saying? Julianna is Ariel's Pokemon. Julianna is Ariel's Paige Van Zandt. I could do this all fucking day, dude. All right, I'm done.
You know, I realize what's on the line and what's at stake, and I take that very seriously. It's a 50-50 thing in there, and anything can happen, and that's what I've learned over the years of watching mixed martial arts. So, you know, I look at my opponents as very dangerous and them trying to, you know, ruin my career, and I take that at 110% serious. And so I'm trying to go in there and kill them at every time because it's either kill or be killed, and I don't want to be killed.
You know, Julianna, I'm looking at your face right now. I see that scar above your nose. You know, very sad story, but you came back so well from the drunk driver hitting you.
Yeah, it is. You know, I was done with martial arts after that. I'm a very competitive person, and I don't like to lose. And to lose like that in front of all my friends and family and even enemies and hometown, you know, and just to lose in that sort of devastating fashion, it broke my heart. And I hid under a rock and died, and a part of me died. You know what? I think that being on The Ultimate Fighter helped me mentally as a fighter. Coming off of 2 losses and finishing off Gina Manzani really boosted my confidence. Gina comes from the same state as me. She's an undefeated fighter, and you know, I've seen her fight before, and she's really tough. And to have beaten her was a boost in my confidence totally. And then to take out the number 8 girl in the world was another added confidence. And then to beat in devastating fashion and to stop and make her tap, unlike she made me, you know, even though she broke my arm, I didn't tap. And, you know, she tapped out to my guillotine. And, you know, just boom, boom, boom. Those 3 wins just made my confidence go through the roof. And I am a very nervous fighter, and I do realize what's at stake. But at the same time, I believe in myself, and I think that that's okay to be nervous. You know, it's normal to get a little jittery. You know, if a fighter says that they're not scared, you know, they're lying, and I know that they are. No, it took to win my first fight in order to get inside the house for me to realize, you know, that I do got it and I have what it takes. And you know, I'm one of the toughest 135 girls out there in the world, you know. And if another girl thinks that she's going to beat me, then I guess we're going to get in the cage and solve that problem.
Back, do you think
It's not that I take it back. Whether Ronda has 1 penny or, you know, $10 million, the point that I was trying to draw there is that she has her nose in the air and she acts like she's better than everyone else. She went on the show being like, I'm team real mean versus fake nice. Well, if she was so real, why didn't she tell me that I didn't deserve to breathe the same air as Shayna Baszler? Why didn't she tell me that to my face instead of saying it on camera behind my back?
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.